Alright, so in this problem, I have x minus 4 to the power of 4 is equal to x to the power of 4. So to solve this, I'm going to first rewrite this as x minus 4 squared to the power of 2 is equal to x squared to the power of 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and subtract x squared to the power of 2 on both sides. So these two cancel out. And now I have x minus 4 squared to the power of 2 minus x squared to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, this is going to equal x minus 4 squared plus x squared times x minus 4 squared minus x squared. And this is equal to 0. So now this gives me two equations. I have x minus 4 squared plus x squared is equal to 0. And now I have x minus 4 squared minus x squared is equal to 0. So now to simplify this, I'm going to go ahead and expand this. So x minus 4 squared, that's equal to x squared minus 8x plus 16. So I have this plus x squared is equal to 0. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. So I have 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. Now I'm going to factor out 2, so I have 2 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0 if I divide 2 on both sides. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. So in this case, I have 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 4, all over 2a, so 2. And this is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 16 is 0 over 2, which is simply equal to sorry, it actually looks like I made a mistake. This should not be 4, this should be 8. It should be 8. So now I get x is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 over 2, which is equal to 2 plus or minus 4i. So these are two solutions. And now for this, I have x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus x squared is equal to 0. So then these two cancel out, so now I have negative 8x plus 16 is equal to 0, meaning negative 8x is equal to negative 16, and x is equal to 2. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of 4 minus 625 is equal to 0. So to solve this, I'm going to first start by rewriting x to the power of 4 here as x squared to the power of 2, and rewriting 625 as 25 squared. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, a is x squared and b is 25. So now I have x squared plus 25 times x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So this is actually going to give me two equations. My first equation is x squared plus 25 is equal to 0. My second equation is x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So let's first start with x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So to solve this, I'm going to first add 25 on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and I have x squared is equal to 25. Now I'm going to take the square root on both sides. Square root of x squared, that's simply equal to x. So I have x is equal to positive or negative 5. So these are two solutions of x. And now for x squared plus 25 equals 0, I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides. So now I have x squared is equal to negative 25. And now I'm going to take the square root on both sides. So I have the square root of x squared is equal to square root of negative 25. And the square root of x squared, this is simply x. The square root of negative 25, well, that's the same thing as the square root of 25 times negative 1. And this is the same thing as the square root of 25 times the square root of negative 1. Now the square root of negative 1 is simply equal to I. So I have the square root of 25 is positive or negative 5i. So these, again, are two solutions. So my four solutions to this problem are, first solution is 5. My second solution is negative 5. My third solution is positive 5i. And finally, my fourth solution is negative 5i. So these are my four solutions to this problem. Alright, so in this problem, I have 9 to the power of x is equal to 36. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take the log on both sides. So I have log 9 to the power of x is equal to log 36. Now, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can move this exponent b to the front. So c equal b times log a. So in this case, I have log 9 to the power of x. I can move x to the front. So now I have x times log 9 is equal to log 36. Now if I divide both sides by log 9, these two cancel out, and I have x is equal to log 36 over log 9. Now log 36, that's the same thing as log of 9 times 4. So I have that over log of 9. And this is the same thing as, well, if I have something in the form log a times b, this is equal to log a plus log b. So log 9 times 4, that's going to equal log 9 plus log 4. And I have this over log 9. So now this is the same thing as log 9 over log 9 plus log 4 over log 9. Log 9, these two cancel out, so I have x is equal to 1 plus log 4 over log 9. And log 4 here, that's the same thing as log of 2 squared. For log 9, that's the same thing as log of 3 squared. So now I can move 2 to the front. So now I have x is equal to 1 plus 2 times log 2 over 2 times log 3. Now these two 2's cancel out, so now I have x is equal to 1 plus log of 2 over log 3. Now log 2, this is equal to 0.301, and log 3, this is equal to 0.477. So I have x is equal to 1 plus 0.301 over 0.477. So now I have x is equal to 1 plus 0.631, which is equal to 1.631.